Hello, good evening. This is Bolton Cricket League Beyond the Boundary. You're here with Simon Booth. I'm one of the League Exec Committee members, and I've been asked by the exec to interview a series of first team captains, chairmen, ex-players, etc., and people that the clubs have nominated to speak to us about the current situation that we find ourselves in. This evening, I've got a good friend of mine, Mark Atherton, who's with us, who's the first team captain at Westhoughton Cricket Club. Good evening, Mark.
Evening, Boo there.
Hi, mate. How you doing? You okay?
Yeah, all's good.
Good. Thanks for taking a bit of time out to speak to us. I think we'll sort of dive straight in if that's all right with you. First of all, obviously, there could be various different people sort of watching this particular video, so I just want a sort of introduction to yourself, who you are, who you play for, and obviously your career at Westhoughton.
Yeah. Right, so, obviously, name's Mark Atherton. Grew up at Westhoughton Cricket Club. Been there mainly all my life, apart from 4 years away, 3 years playing myself at Farmworth. And I had a lovely year at Daisy Hill with my brother and my best pal. That were interesting. It was the last year of association as well. It was good time, good group of lads. 3 years with myself, very good, enjoyed it, in a great team, won a lot of stuff. And then all the rest at Westhoughton, which is like my home club. Every intention was to go back. I just think I needed a little bit of a break away from it at the time. The team had gone through a bit of a transition period at the time I left. We had a lot of players coming in from other clubs, playing and what have you. I fancied a bit of a change. Been back there now 5 years. Tried to retire at the end of last year. Just tried playing a few third team games with my lad. And obviously I've coached the under-15s since they was like 9-10 years old. They're all grown up now playing third team, so I wanted to spend most of my time, if I could, trying to help them play with them. Unfortunately, we struggled for numbers in the first team last year for a few reasons. And they asked me to help out towards the back end of last year to come and help captain and see where we can go. So I did. I stepped in, helped out, enjoyed it. And then obviously now they've asked me to captain next year. I don't know how long it's going to go on for, whether it be captain or manage, I don't know. I'm still in the unknown, and just see what goes on from there. Check it with more fans, if needs be.
Well, thanks for that. First question I want to ask you is obviously what your club's plans were. I say were because I know we're still in it now, but what were your club's plans for 2020 season in terms of players, club improvements, and then obviously any events that were in your calendar?
Right. Well, as far as the team goes, we were looking very strong. We had I'd say a 20-man squad for the first team. So inevitably that'll make the first team and second team very strong because it was going to be a full squad. We weren't going to have a division in teams. In a lot of clubs you'll have a first team. Some second teamers won't play first team. We were going to try and change the whole culture at our club this year by having 20 players all playing for a certain spot in the team. We'd signed pro and overseas. Pro was Ashley Mayers. Is it Ashley Mayers?
Kyle Mayers.
Kyle Mayers. That's the one.
He plays for your club.
Kyle Mayers, sorry. And overseas, Marlon Welcome Goodyear. Seemed like very good players. I think Marlon scored 960 runs for Flixton at JMCL.
Yeah, he's been a good player for Flixton over quite a few years, to be fair.
Yeah. And he's allegedly his best mate is this Kyle Mayers. And it's Chesney Hughes. Are you there? Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, go on. No,
just
carry on, man.
How can we just ring him? I'll just start cancelling. So Kyle Mayers, who'd scored, I think, about 400s during the winter. We were watching him on YouTube a few times. He looks absolutely brilliant. Chesney Hughes had put us onto him. who obviously Chesney's gone over to Greenmount.
Yeah.
We'd signed Atik, who's a man. He's come back to be head coach. Got a great attitude towards cricket. He puts lads through the paces. Everything's got to be professional. So we're just trying to change the whole mentality of the team, which he was doing very well. And then he'll continue to do that. He's always on WhatsApp telling lads go for a run and stuff. So we signed young Adam Patel from Atherton.
Yeah.
So I think he played at Bridge. He played in one of my district teams when he was younger, when I was a coach for the district. He's fantastic.
Young left-arm spinner.
Left-arm spinner.
Yeah.
Started out as a right-arm medium pacer, believe it or not. I couldn't believe it myself when I got told. And we'd signed Ryan Chastity come and join the club from Horwich or Kersley.
Right, yeah, Ryan Chase, yeah, formerly of Horwich, went to Kersley and then at your place, yeah.
Yeah, so he come in, and then two brothers and the dad. So we have Uzzer Shah, Shoaib Shah, and the dad who's Anjum Shah. Really nice people, absolutely brilliant, and would have been still will be a great asset to Westhoughton. I think Uzzer's the one who's been playing for Scotland in the World Cup just before all this has happened. I think he's done really well, carried his back quite well for the team. They both love the cricket. The dad does as well. The dad's there to prove a point that he's not just going to come in and play seconds. He wants to play first. He wants to show the young ones how it's done. So, healthy competition for places. I don't think anyone's left the club. There's no one left to go and play anywhere else as far as I'm aware. Just young Matty, but obviously he's chasing his dream, and hopefully, fingers crossed he'll get there very soon. I think he's had a really good year down in Australia again, so,
yeah.
I wish him all the best, and, he knows where we are there if he ever wants to come back. I think he'll be a great player for somebody. So yeah, that's pretty much numbers. I think 20. We've got a few good young kids coming up in the ranks as well, who will push for places. I think what it does, it gives everybody then in the whole club, they play at their own levels then. So last year, because the first team was short, some of the second teamers, your 16, 17-year-old lads were getting thrown in. They weren't getting a game. So in turn, by getting all these people in, your second team stays strong, and the kids play at their own levels instead of getting thrown into first and not getting a game as such. We've been there when we were younger. Sometimes we'd have to go and play first team and not get a game.
Plenty times.
Yeah. But I think if you can help it by not having to do that, it benefits them kids in the long run. So, third team would have been solid. So yeah, we had a healthy. Well, still I've got an healthy plan. Yeah, and it's still there.
Club improvements is probably a tough one for Westhoughton because obviously, as we know, you've got a fantastic facility. It's all brand new. You sold the old ground, you moved to the new one.
Yeah.
And obviously, you're still bedding in, aren't you? You're still getting used to being at this new ground.
Yeah, I think everyone can improve. I think just because you've got the facilities, it doesn't mean you're necessarily giving the best service for coaching. I think, as a club, we're always looking at how we can improve our Friday nights. How do we get more kids? We're just the same as every other club in that matter. If kids don't come to your cricket club, you struggle. We're no different in that matter. We've got a lot of people on the committee and what have you. Do a lot of hard work trying to get things going. Got a good committee base. We've always got to improve. We've always got to try and get better. We've got a great coach in Neil Redford as well. He's still there. We've retained him as far as I'm aware. He's absolutely dynamite. Him along with Atik, the kids couldn't want much better.
Yeah. Good coaches, good facility. You can't go wrong.
Yeah. Well, you'd like to think so, but you've got to try and improve all the time, not get stale. It's all right just rocking up when we were younger. We used to rock up, there'd be a bloke just stood at the end of a net, well ball, giving it all that. And, it's a lot different these days. you know. So yeah.
One thing I wanted to ask you, obviously, it's a tough one to answer, really, but obviously with this coronavirus situation being sort of thrust upon us, you know, just all of a sudden, how do you think it's hit cricket in terms of senior and junior ranks?
I think I worry a little bit about the juniors because, you know, I think if they're not playing cricket, you know, for, let's say the season gets wiped out and they don't play, do they really fancy it next year? The lads who might have been getting better, do they feel then they're not going to be as good as they should be next year? Do they turn away from the sport at 16 years old because they're not good enough for senior cricket?
Just jumping into sort of the next question, because you're half going to answer it, but what sort of things are Westhoughton doing to sort of try and combat that?
Well, at the minute, I just think we're speaking to parents. The coaches are speaking to parents here. All the kids are going. We're keeping in close contacts when we can get out there. I think what a lot of the parents and the kids have got to be doing is try and do a bit of homework with the cricket. You know, whether it's in a garden, in a bat and a ball, a bit of fitness, probably learning the game a little bit. Watch a few of these documentaries that are on Sky. You know, that's what I've got our head and doing, my lad. You know, he's watching things. You know, he's in garden, seeing how many times he can keep bat on ball. You know, he's
just trying to keep him engaged. I think that's trying to keep. What we've been trying to do.
Well, coach, well,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, I get it. I get it from both sides. I just hope the league, we're trying as a league. Maybe if the under-15s miss the season, that we go to an under-16s to try and continue their development. I don't think it's fair then to throw an old 15-year-old into the under-18s. I think he needs his season still. So whether we adapt it to the under-16s, have the under-15s as well, fit another night in there, all work hard together. I think something like that we've got to try and sort something out.
I think a few things like that has been mentioned about obviously kids missing this age group and missing this year, because whether you're a 13, a 15, or an 18-year-old kid, you know, potentially we're going to miss a full season of whatever. So whether the age groups move up or we do something to sort that out next year, that, I mean, again, we don't really know what lies in store, but
no.
We'll you know, you just got to try and keep people engaged and keep kids going. And we, you know, at Farmouth we have a Facebook page, and you know we're posting videos from YouTube on, and Greenmount's ex-pro, you know, Power. He keeps posting these videos, and I keep sharing them. You know, batting videos and catching videos, and just trying to keep them. Just trying to keep them engaged and keep people talking about cricket, and that's the reason for these interviews as well, just to keep people informed about what's going on at these clubs. Next question, and it's something I know you're very passionate about. I'm going to ask you about professionals and overseas, but with a bit of a slant on it. What do you think the importance of having pros and overseas are for amateur cricket?
Oh, it's massive. It's absolutely massive. Without it, I think you'd get a lot more people dropping out of the sport. I just think to try and compete against a professional week in, week out as a good youngster, it's all you look forward to. It's all I ever look forward to. You know, it wasn't so much just the pros, but there was always really good amateurs who could have proed for other teams. It was trying to compete with them as well. But pros and all, I think overseas should come back 100%. I think we should all have to have them. I'm not so keen on these overseas now where, like in the olden days, you used to be able to get anybody, where this pathway now has spoiled it a little bit. So you could get anybody really, but maybe we have two pros, you know, whichever we do. But I love it. I genuinely believe they have to be in, you know, 100%.
They're a huge part of league cricket, and obviously a few of these interviews that I've done so far, and everyone says the same sort of thing, that they're a massive part of the club. They're a huge part of junior development. You know, people come to watch the pros. You know, sounds awful, this, and you're not going to like me, but they don't come watch me and you. They come. You know what I mean? They come and watch the pros. They come and watch the West Indian lads, the Pakistani lads, the Indian lads, wherever they come from. you know,
But what
ultimately.
makes it good though, Boovie, is that when a lot of people are watching them pros, and you go in and spoil their day, and that's something that everybody really should look at doing. They should be looking around going, look at these 40 people. Oh, I'm going to go home upset because I'm just going to slap them into a field somewhere for a few balls. You know, I might have me 5 minutes of fame, but I look forward to doing that. You know,
I think most of us do, Mark. To be fair.
Yeah. You've got to. I grew up, you know, watching like Collis King or Eswick, you know, all at our club, and it was just what they did in the bar afterwards. Everybody wanted to be around them, the atmosphere, not just what they did on field. You know, we were good enough that they were great coaches as well. So sometimes you'd be out on a cricket field till 10 o'clock at night. The pros would still be bowling at you.
Yeah.
You know, and it depends where your pro comes from, I think, a little bit of what you get at your club. You know, I genuinely believe in that. I believe in the age of the pro as well. You know, sometimes if you get a young gun, he might want to go out for a few social beers with his lads afterwards. But some of the older ones want to pass on, you know. It's a fine tune what club suits what pro.
Yeah.
You know, and when you stumble across that gooden, you know, I know there's a few goodens knocking about, and when your club stumbles across that gooden, they want to try and keep hold of them as long as they can.
Yeah, true.
So, yeah, definitely, they're here to stay. They have to be.
Very quickly, T20 cricket. First of all, what does Westhoughton sort of think about T20 cricket? What do they currently do, and what do you want to happen for T20 cricket going forward into future years?
What do I want for our club to do in future years, or T20 in general?
So how do Westhoughton approach T20 cricket now, and how do you want T20 cricket to be taken on in the future?
My views are not the club's views.
Well, it's different, but I'm interviewing you, so
I think we don't do enough for 2020 cricket. Myself, I think though some of that is down to which teams you get drawn against. So you know, if you're going to be drawn against a club that you know no one's going to come up and watch, why should you go through the expense of putting a lot of things on like a barbecue and what have you, if no one's going to buy anything, you know, no one's going to be there to watch.
Fair enough.
I think we need to change that. We need to change the mentality of it around it in club, because I think it's a winner for clubs to earn some money. I really do. You know, if it's done the right way from a club. I mean, you just look at Horwich, the way they do it. They lead it by a long way. Who wouldn't want to go and play at Horwich every single Friday night?
They do a fabulous job, don't they?
Yeah, if I could say, right, Horwich, can I play for you in 2020 on a Friday night? Would you have me? And I could play for them and play for my club on a Saturday. You would do it tomorrow.
Yeah,
and everybody would, and everybody who says they won't would be lying, because it would be great playing in front of 200, 300, 400, 500 people every Friday.
Yeah.
I think they set the benchmark, and I think, you know, we've all got to try and follow. We've all got to try and get there somehow. Now, you're probably not going to get 200, 300 people on, but if you can aim for get 100 people on everybody, it's a good atmosphere.
Yeah.
You know, but I think we've all got to do it. It can't just be the couple of clubs.
Take it on mass.
Yeah, you can't do a couple of clubs, because if we come to Farnworth and we don't bring anybody, what's the point of you bringing anybody to us? You know, it's going to just keep going around in circles until we all put something on, put the music on, put the flyers out, get everything as much as we can. And if it doesn't take off, it doesn't take off. But at least we've all tried, haven't we?
Yeah,
I love the 2020s, and I love everything about it. So
I think most people do. I think T20 cricket is, you know, we all love our standard format cricket, our 50 over cricket, whatever type of cricket you play in your leagues. But I think the T20 cricket, when it's done very well, is a crowd pleaser. It gets money. It gets money in. It gets people watching. Coloured clothing, a bit of music. You know, Farnworth were very lucky to host the T20 finals day 2 years back.
Yeah.
And it were a great day. You know, it were a fantastic day, and black side screens and white balls and, you know, and stuff like that. And I think
we hosted it when Farnworth won it at Westhoughton.
Yeah,
it was absolutely brilliant day. It was red hot. It was red hot, and it was really, really good. And I think we lost in the first semi-final, but I liked the day just as much as if we'd have won it, it would. It was exactly the same. I absolutely love the day. Don't get me wrong, you want to win it, but
there could be a possibility that obviously come back end of our cricket season this year. Let's say we do roll the dice and we get cracking in August. It might be something for the league to look at doing a T20 tournament as it were.
Yeah, well, I've already started writing a few things down on, if the season starts in, let's say, August, a bad time, what's the league going to do if it doesn't do anything? Who do I contact? Do I contact a few people that I know in the league, like yourself, chalk in, say, let's do round robins on Sundays and Saturdays.
Yeah.
Let's do 2020s. Let's have a couple of games in a day. We'll go to your club one week, their club next week, our club week after. At least you can do it first, second and thirds.
Yeah.
So one's on each ground at each time, doing your round robins. I genuinely believe we've got to have some fallback plan as clubs, but hopefully the league can do that. But what I want to do, I want the league really looking into it at where it's going to benefit some clubs, because if it doesn't benefit them all, and I mean this in the nicest way to some of the other clubs, we don't want to be travelling to a couple of them playing a round robin if it's,
if they're not interested.
If they're not interested in it,
yeah. I get that. I get that, and it's got to be, conversations have gone on for the last 2, 3, 4 weeks, and we've had a couple of meetings, league meetings and exec meetings, talking about various different plans. There's a plan for every eventuality, Mark. It doesn't matter what date we start, the league can put a programme together. It's the $6 million question is, when are we going to start? That's the problem. So just moving on to our last question. What do you think coronavirus has done for the game, and how do you think it'll affect things in years to come?
I think it's going to be hard for some clubs now, depending on what they put in place, depending on when we get back to it as well. I think it's hard for it to say right now on what it's done. I think we'll only realise that in probably 6 years, when them 15-year-olds that should have been 21 now playing your first team cricket. Is it going to affect them? Regardless of the money side of everything, what the clubs are losing on money, they've still got to maintain the ground. Luckily, a lot of clubs are fortunate to have a lot of volunteers. I know Westhoughton don't. I know they've got to pay a groundsman, who does a good job. It's a big old field for keep cutting, but
absolutely,
it's costing money to do that. I don't know. I can't really answer what I think it's done right now. I know it's pissed a lot of people. I can't say that. I know it's annoyed a lot of people. But what can you do as long as everyone's
like
safe?
You said, the damage is going to come sort of months or years down the line and see it, but it's certainly, all this social distancing and keeping away from one another, and we've spoke about it. I spoke to Josh Gent about it earlier on tonight, and he was saying the same thing about getting changed in changing rooms and spitting on ball and stuff like that. Cricket's got all sorts of weird and wonderful things that we do on a weekly basis, and are we all going to is it going to go back to normal or not? And that's the question.
I think when the kids go back to school, they've got to be allowed to play sport, because I don't see any harm in them sharing a classroom together than sharing a cricket field together. And I think whatever guidelines they put in place, we as clubs have got to straight away put that in place and get back out there as soon as. If it's going to cost your club a bit of money to put certain things in place, then if that club hasn't got it, we've got to do something as a league to get every club to do it. And every club gets in it together. Don't know how it'll work, but that's above my pay station. But however, we've got to get out there as soon as we can, haven't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
For everyone's benefit.
Bro. Right, thanks, Mark. Thanks for spending a bit of time with us. Obviously, this will go out on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and what have you. And I think all your lot can have a good go at you, which is good. And I think a few of mine will have a go at me, so that's good.
Yeah, just edit the pro part where I've got his name wrong.
Yeah, he might not see funny side. We'll keep it in. We'll keep it in.
Never
right,
mind.
Thanks for your time, bud. And I will see you soon.
Take care, mate. Stay safe.
No probs.